What is up? What is up, listeners? We have another visual episode for you this time. I'm joined again with my boy Travis. He's actually right here behind this little article that's right here that we're going to get into in this episode. But he doesn't want to show his camera right now. So you're not going to be blessed with his face this time. Maybe next time. Excuse me. So this episode, I wanted to get into how I got into Web3 and NFTs. There was a listener review on our episode about influence versus reach, where S had said, "Really liked this episode. A suggestion for a future topic. Can you talk about how you got into Web3 and NFTs and how you learned about all of it? How is it managing a business in the space?" So that's a really good one. And I want to get into that. First, I want to go over this article that Alan had actually written. He did an interview with me. He's known by Existential NoHo on Twitter, One Existence. So this is his Metaverse Chronicles, Decentraland and Beyond. Kind of sucks that can't share this with you, Travis. Let me see if, do you think I could share my screen on Discord also? And then you would see it? Would that work?
Possibly.
All right, we're gonna try that. Um, Share screen. Entire screen. I'll share this. Oh, this is gonna mess me up. Can I close out of what I'm watching? Like, how do I close out of this? Show my screen share. Okay. Well, anyway, let me resize this and remove it. Sorry, folks. Okay, so over here, you can see it right here on this side now. Metaverse Chronicles, Decentraland, and Beyond. This is actually where me and Alan had met. If you want to hear more about our how we came into contact, you can go into the episode where we did the interview with him. I think it's number 3. So it talks about, join the DAO. It's got an editor's note there, celebrating Pride Month, go beyond DCL. And then we get into the interview that I did with him. And we did an interview before, but it didn't get published because apparently it was a little too glorified and wasn't unbiased, I guess. So this was what Alan had wrote, right? It says Coke Smush Unfaded. Because obviously, I run the Faded Feline DGen Club NFT project. In October 2022, I interviewed Ryan Guthrie, me, also known as Coke Smush, for a different publication. Unfortunately, the piece didn't meet the standards of that source. Undeterred, I decided to approach him again for my own platform, the Metaverse Chronicles, confident that his unique perspective and experiences would find the right audience here. And I'm hoping so too. The first round. Born with a passion for paintball and dirt bikes, Coke Smush obtained his moniker in his early teens. His interests, however, soon expanded into the metaverse, specifically Decentraland, in December 2021. His attention was first drawn to this virtual universe by a compelling scavenger hunt event hosted by a Renowned Apes NFT project. Renowned Apes NFT project is the Bored Ape scavenger hunt that existed. And that's pretty cool because on the 28th, I actually have an interview with some Bored Ape holders on a Twitter space. So I'm trying to piece those together. Once inside, his desire to collect proof of attendance protocols, POAPs, kept him returning for more. As Coke Smush began interacting with other attendees at these events, he discovered a thriving community of enthusiasts that inspired him to stay, create, and build alongside them. Some of these individuals even partnered with Coke Smush to form their own NFT community. Now, Coke Smush has his fingers in many pies. He's creating music, launching NFT projects across multiple blockchains, designing wearables, and constructing platforms within the metaverse. And most recently, he started a podcast. Though he might not actively be involved in all these endeavors now, his previous engagement suggests a potential return. He remains committed to fostering the adoption of Web3, advocating for security, and nurturing a community in his latest endeavor. Now, let's fast forward more than half a year later. So this was December 2021. November actually was when I got into Decentraland, but December was when that scavenger hunt happened, and that's where I actually started meeting some people. And so I didn't really start my own first project until January of 2022. which was Smush Friends, and that lasted like a whole year. We did a year celebration. My dev dipped out. I had to start a new project, which was the Faded Feline DJing Club. So now let's fast forward more than half a year later. Are we good there, Travis? You have any questions on anything?
Nope.
Okay. If you are listening to this podcast right now on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I apologize if you're watching this. That's for Alan there. So let's keep going. Feline Fine, a perfect revisit with Coke Smush. Question one. Since our first interview, tell me, what have you been up to? What new projects are you working on? Any collaborations? Any personal news you would like to share? On share, what are you comfortable with? Of course. He's always respectful of people's privacy and what they view as their security. So the answer I gave him, right? So I said, since our last interview, I've had to migrate the Smush Friends community to this new project I've started in January called the Faded Feline DJing Club. I'm in full control of this project, so there's no worry about a dev disappearing on us. I partnered up with Ovation Social Network as a partner on their site, which is a social media platform for Web3 and NFT enthusiasts. We're listed on NFT Calendar and NFT Watcher for some discoverability, and we launched a line of hot sauce called the Faded Feline Degen Sauce. I could go on for hours about new stuff, but it's best to join the Discord and see what's been going on. So if you guys are interested in joining the Discord for my NFT project, you can go to ffdc.koji.site, Koji. I'll put the link in the description of this video so you guys can follow along and check it out. Question number 2. Your new NFT project, Faded Felines, what inspired you to create this collection? How does it differ from your previous NFT projects, and what makes it unique in the current market? So I said, I've been seeing a lot of projects catered toward helping animals with mint proceeds, but not really any projects catering towards cats. And so I would see, dog projects where they're helping like no kill shelters and, building all these things for dogs, and it's awesome. I love dogs. I'm a dog person myself. But I love cats too. I didn't really see cat projects in the space that were donating to cat charities, doing things to help benefit the feline family. So it was time that I had to do something, right? Um, my wife and I both love cats, her more so than I, but felt it was time to do something. And then here's a little link that he put, Faded Felines on OpenSea. So that's really cool. You can click it and it takes you to, like our little OpenSea link of the collection right here. And you can see all the NFTs. They're all hand drawn by me. So they're not the best art, but like I said, it's all myself. So I drew all the traits. I did all the backgrounds, everything myself. From building the Smush Friends community to developing Faded Felines, there are quite a few similarities, as I was the driving force behind the Smush Friends by hosting events, mint parties, raffles, onboarding new users via virtual experiences, all that stuff. Like I was literally the one pushing the project, so it wasn't really that much of a stretch to do it with this one. With the felines, we aim to keep a positive outlook and building lifelong meaningful relationships, but I'm more focused on doing everything myself, as when other people are involved, you must depend on them. No one has as much passion about your project and brand than yourself. And this is true, and if you don't think this is true, you don't think that very highly of yourself, and you need to change that. So now I'm doing everything myself with the help of my community, of course. From running Smush Friends and building connections last year, I've been able to acquire virtual land in Decentraland, as well as meet some amazing people I'm glad to have called family. Some people have fallen by the wayside with the dissolvement of Smush Friends, but the real ones see the vision and have stuck through. Question 4. You mentioned previously wanting to create a land development in Decentraland on a larger scale. Could you share your vision for this project, and how have you progressed, and how does it align with your long-term goals in the metaverse? This was a good one, right? So with Smush Friends, we had like all these plans, right? Like 3D models. We had this arcade, which was like a 3-story arcade with a full stage on it where musicians could perform, and it had like the seating area and a basketball court up top, and the fucking marketplace with our wearables on the bottom with the arcade machines. It was fucking crazy, right? So my answer to him was, of course. So with Smush Friends, we had a full-scale arcade ready to deploy on a 5x6, which is, if you look at a parcel on Decentraland, it's a 1x1, right? You're limited to 10,000 triangles that you can build on the parcel as far as graphics wise, and you're super limited. So I have a 1x1 right now that I do events on. And we had built an arcade to fit on a 5x6. The arcade was actually a 4x4, But with a 5x6, we could have had a rotating parkour challenge map and an escape room. So like Tuesdays could have been parkour, Thursdays could have been the escape room. And I've put on these events into Centraland before, so I already know how to do it. The arcade was built on a 4x4 and featured a 3-floor building with a basketball court on the roof, arcade machines on the base floor, where partnered NFT projects could host their games on machines as collaboration. Users would then need to abide by any token gating measures before playing, of course, but this would be the best way to cross pollinate via a gaming experience. Without the funding for that, I don't think I said restoring. Without the funding for that, I have been, hmm, Alan, what did you say here? To building on a 1x1 parcel. Okay, I've been resorted. Okay, so without the funding for that, I've been resorting. Okay, so I've resorted to building on a 1x1 parcel and providing POAPs to users for participation. Now, if you remember, POAPs up here are proof of attendance protocols, right? And so what it is it's basically a token that says you went to this event and participated. But if my project were to take off and get really big, and to join this event, you have to have tokens saying you went to this event, you would need that token. You know what I'm saying? So I think my long term, wait, where did I stop? At the POAPs, right? Um, I've been doing this for over a year now. The events have slowed as now I'm doing everything myself. So organization is key over just putting on events nonstop. So I put on an event, I think last month it was, where it was a scavenger hunt, right? So you go to our Twitter, and there was a code in our pinned tweet on our Twitter, and that code you enter into the first code inside the challenge into Decentraland. It was a padlock. So you enter the code in the padlock, that takes you through a gate. To open up the gate, you need another code that you got from that you found inside Decentraland with the key. And so it was just interacting like that. I really love doing stuff like that. But with me doing everything myself for the felines, I don't really have time to be putting on events like that and making new POAPs for people and making flyers and doing all that. Like he said before, like I do a lot of stuff, including this podcast, music. Like I'm a full-time dad. I'm a stay-at-home dad, so most of my time is spent around my kid too. So I can't just do work, like it's always here and there. I think my long term goals for the metaverse have changed as technology evolves. Instead of more of a VR experience, which I wanted to do, I want to integrate mixed reality utility into the felines. Facial tracking, AR filters for social media and camera applications, for Discord, Zoom, things like that. 3D toys of your NFTs with NFC chips linking back to the blockchain data of your NFT. So it's like, say, you had a toy, right? This was your toy, and of course, it's a fucking vape, whatever, right? You take your phone, you hold your phone to the toy, and you're gonna be able to see the information about the toy on your phone. Sorry if you hear my neighbors; they're freaking ridiculous. Um, so that was pretty cool, right? Faded Feline hot sauce on shelves now and in the Discord. It's not on shelves yet. It's technically still here in boxes. I sell it, out of my apartment, but it is going to be listed in stores over where my wife works at this place called South Point. There's two locations, and there's also a bar called Gilligan's that the owner of Gilligan's wants to stock the shop with my hot sauce as well. So I'm really excited to get that going. He says, you started a podcast with a friend of yours, Travis. You call him Waffles. How did that partnership come about? And what topics do you cover on the show? Has hosting the podcast influenced your perspective on the metaverse or other projects? Is that my dog? That was my dog. So I said, Waffles has been a good buddy of mine since we used to stream on Mixer back in the day. If you guys don't know what Mixer is, it used to be called Beam as a streaming platform. They were trying to be better than Twitch. It was ran by Microsoft. It went downhill. So we've been gaming together and been in esports together. I call him Waffles because when I met him, that's what he introduced himself to me as. It was Waffles. His name is Reign of Waffles. It's not Region of Waffles. You can see it spelled right here, Reign of Waffles. Right? He's a cool dude. You should get to know him. Huh, Waffles.
Yo,
Sorry, this is like a super smushy episode. I apologize. Yo, they're going crazy up there. I'm about to slam the door again. I said, I'm not exactly sure how it happened. He approached me about a podcast, or we were talking about it during a day we were streaming, and we decided on a time to get together, and we made it happen. Our podcast is called Trying to Function, so we felt like keeping the topics pretty general to the everyday person. We covered things from small communities to optimism and pessimism, influence versus reach, and many others. Hosting the podcast hasn't really changed my perspective on the metaverse or other projects, as it isn't really catered toward those niches. So, like, I mean, we don't really just do a podcast about NFTs or about the metaverse, augmented reality, and stuff like that. So, it's not really like my perspective has changed. My stance on the metaverse highly differs from a lot of people because everyone's stuck on buzzwords. But to me, metaverse is the full integration of AR, which is augmented reality, VR, which is virtual reality, and RX, which is a rewarding experience. When I can walk around public with AR glasses on and see virtual projections in real time, or go to a restaurant and play a mini game via AR that gives me a discount on my meal that I'm eating at that restaurant, me and a friend go to our respective houses, but say I don't want to stop hanging out with, like, me and Travis, right? Say we went to a restaurant, right? And we're playing some mini game on the table with our AR glasses while we're waiting for our food to get here, and I get a high score, which gives me 20% off our meal, right? That's super cool. Then we're done eating. We have to go to our own houses. Me and Waffles aren't done hanging out with each other. We throw our VR headsets on and we meet up in the virtual world and we're hanging out. That's metaverse. And we aren't there yet, but we're close. I suggest watching Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale, available currently on Hulu, or it can be rented on Amazon Prime. Good job looking up that information, Alan. If you're into metaverse, VR, and AR stuff, I really recommend it.
Another good movie is Ready Player One.
Ready Player One is really good. Have you seen Ordinal Scale yet, though? The Sword Art Online one?
Uh no, I have not.
You should do it because, like, Ready Player One is awesome. I think it's a lot of virtual reality into reality, but when I think of like mixed reality, that AR aspect needs to be there with the rewarding experience. So that whole scenario where you're at the table and you get a high score for a discount on your meal, that's metaverse shit right there. Integrating the AR into reality like that with being able to get rewards out of it. And we just aren't there yet. We have virtual worlds, which is really cool. You can have virtual reality worlds and all these different experiences and bring people there, but we don't have the metaverse yet. Question 6. Looking ahead, what are your predictions for the future of the NFT space and virtual worlds? How do you plan to proactively adapt and stay at the forefront of these evolving trends and developments? And my answer was, it's honestly impossible to predict the future of NFTs, because it is. But I do feel we're going to stray away from the term NFT and adapt something more user-friendly, such as digital access token. To stay proactive and adapt to the ever-changing technology landscape, I spend much of my time in Twitter Spaces, talking to and learning from industry leaders to stay ahead of the curve. I've been giving POAPs for events in Twitter Spaces for over a year, and it's just now becoming a widely adopted thing in projects. I was doing AR filters last year with Smush Friends, and now projects are just now utilizing AR into their NFTs. So I feel like if I just keep doing what I'm doing, always wanting to improve and be more, I'll be able to keep a mentality that is always hungering for more knowledge and innovative tech. I need to drink some water. Question 7. As someone experienced in both podcasting and NFT projects, what valuable advice would you offer to individuals considering starting their own ventures in these domains? Share one positive aspect that has enriched your journey and one cautionary tale or common pitfall to be mindful of. This was really good too. Like, he was asking me really good questions. Oh man. So my answer was, the advice I would give is to be consistent always. And this isn't just NFT projects, this isn't just podcasting, this is anything that you're trying to build and develop. You need consistency. Always. This goes with anything. Brands, anything that involves marketing. You want to stay consistent. Set a schedule and adhere to it. If it's going to be a podcast about NFTs, I suggest reaching out to other people that are interested in the topic and bounce ideas off of each other. You could always consult AI tools like ChatGPT for brainstorming and idea generation. There's also free programs. ChatGPT is free if you go on your computer. I know the mobile one tries to charge you, but there's also Bard from Google. Their Bard AI is free. That's pretty cool. A positive aspect I would like to share is the wonderful friendships and connections I've made throughout this journey, both via Twitter Space and virtual world experiences such as Decentraland, and my friendship with Alan. A cautionary tale, or common pitfall, is don't believe everything you hear and half of what you see. People like to work around smoke and mirrors and only show you what they want you to see. Go off of the proof of work, do your due diligence, and be safe out there. And then you put a little faded feline banner right there. That was really cool. Question 8. Reflecting on your journey in the web and virtual worlds, what stands out as the most significant highlight or memorable experience you've experienced thus far? So I said, the most memorable experience for me was attending a Steve Aoki concert in Decentraland. And believe it or not, that was like the first big event that I've attended in Decentraland was the Steve Aoki concert, which was crazy. And there was another couple DJs there, but it was really cool. I even put it up on my YouTube. But the most recent really big event that I attended in Decentraland was the Metaverse Fashion Week. And CNN actually did like a fucking news story about it. So that was pretty big. Where am I? The big events in Decentraland have usually been phenomenal. Although I haven't experienced an awesome spatial event, I'm sure there have been plenty. DCL is my home from the experiences I've had during my first days in there, and I'm excited for the future. A little note from Alan. He says, Catch Trying to Function on Spotify and YouTube. New episodes are available on Sundays. I was privileged to be a guest on one of the episodes. And Alan, I thank you so much for being as awesome as you are and putting this fucking interview together, dude. Like, this is awesome. You guys need to check out the Metaverse Chronicles. Go follow him on Twitter at Existential NoHo. His name's One Existence. It's my dude Alan. Alrighty, Waffles. How was that? You like that?
That was a pretty good interview.
Wait, why can't I stop
Uh,
sharing?
just click the share screen button and stop sharing. That
There we
works
go.
too.
Okay. So I'm gonna talk to your little waffle picture right here now.
Yeah. One thing I don't know if you covered. I didn't quite hear all of it. Um, why did you want to get into like NFTs and the metaverse?
You know what? That actually wasn't a question, but I'm glad that you asked. Why? Right? Why? I have no fucking idea. Right? So, my old dev that isn't with me anymore ended up just bringing up the idea of wanting to do an NFT project. Right? So, I've been in crypto for a few years now, probably like 5 or 6 years, ever since, Dogecoin started. And I got in, made like $500, $600, and that was that. I don't really trade shitcoins anymore like that, but that's a different story. So he approached me and he's like, "What do you think about NFTs?" Right? Well, dude, this freaking little piece of hair is bugging me. And so I was like, "I don't know." Like I've been in Decentraland. I've been running around and getting these wearables and POAPs and stuff, and those are NFTs, right? So I mean, and then we started seeing profile picture projects, right? So you guys know the Bored Ape Yacht Club, Crypto Punks with like the Pixel PFPs, like those the PFP profile picture. That's what the whole thing started. The whole wave of NFTs got big because of profile pictures. It was it was a thing for years before that. But I think it actually started with real estate, right? People were trying to like trade real estate through NFTs. And so when profile pictures came around, dude, you had like people rocking these monkey pictures that you're like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? Everybody's like wearing a monkey picture. Like, what's going on? Next thing you know, you see celebrities rocking these monkey pictures, and it's like, what the fuck is this? Right. And so we ended up coming up with a profile picture project. It wasn't like the upper body to the head like most profile picture projects are. It was like a full body little chibi anime style NFT, and these were inspired off of the art from Maple Story. And obviously, me and Maple Story, we've got deep roots. Maple Story is actually doing metaverse shit right now called Maple Story X, I think. Let me go check real quick. I'll fact check myself on that because I'm following them. Maple Story Universe, right? So Maple Story U is what it is, right? And so they're doing this whole Web3 metaverse thing with Maple Story where you're going to be able to actually get NFTs from inside the game. And I'm going to be super pumped for that. So I guess I didn't really have a motive aside from a buddy coming up to me with the idea of wanting to get into it and me being spontaneous and proactive, I was like, yeah, let's do it. But, when we started, it wasn't, we didn't have like anything really aside from, like we wanted to do staking eventually, like come out with a token where people could, earn this token from holding on to their NFT, and then they could be able to use those tokens to redeem them in our marketplace for other NFTs or merch or whatever we were selling in our ecosystem. And this was something we were doing 2 years ago, right? So January will be 2 years. Well, I guess it's like a year and a half, whatever. And so, well, no, so January of 2 years ago, right? Because we're in 2003 now. So January of 2002. I don't know. I'm really bad with time.
2020. You got me lost on that.
Yeah. Well, basically, after I got into Decentraland, the following January is when we started Smush Friends. And so
It was 21.
this past January is when I started Faded Felines. So I feel like 2 years ago, January is when I was doing Smush Friends.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm pretty sure that was 2021.
yeah. So I mean, I was doing this for a while, and now that I don't have a dev behind me, I don't have the knowledge to code JavaScript and Solidity and all that shit. So anything that I've done smart contract wise has been through a platform called Third Web, which is super handy and helpful for people like me that don't know how to do scripting. And so I take one of the templates for a smart contract that I want, I plug in my information, and I work off of that. So I have full control of the contract, all the art, all the utility, like the hot sauce. Let me show you. When I say I got hot sauce, I got fucking hot sauce, right? And this bottle, right? This isn't even the original Don Serrano OG bottle. This bottle actually has one of our NFT holders' felines on it. This is her feline. This isn't one of mine. This is one that she owns. And every bottle of this batch of Don Serrano that sells, she gets 50% of the profits. And that's the kind of utility that I offer with the project. So like you mint a feline, you get into our community, and you have all of this utility right off the bat just from minting one. It's not like you mint one, hold it, okay, now we got to mint out before we start doing all this shit. And we're doing giveaways in the meantime. Like, giveaways are cool, they hype people up, but what value are you really providing to the people from your project? Like giving people other NFTs that are valuable or cool, they could sell it if they need money or whatever, or get into a community they can't afford. But where's the real value that you're providing? You know? Me, you have 20% discount on merch, discount on hot sauce. You have affiliate branding. Like I could fucking give you a discount code. You have a feline. So you can make a discount code called waffles where you give your people from your streams or whatever 10% off the merch and you make 5% commission. That's real utility right there. There's half the projects in this space aren't even providing real utility. It's all empty promises. So that's what I wanted to change with this was I didn't want to say we're going to be doing this, we're going to be doing this because with my dev I was doing that because we had all these plans. But without that dev, all those plans went out the window. So it was all empty promises. And I'm not trying to do that with this one. So things have been going a little slower. We started in January. We only have like a little less than 300 NFTs minted, but everything's been organic. Everything's been me and the community and, my wife helping me out, when she can. So it's been a journey for sure. I got that meeting with the Board Ape Show on the 28th, hoping to bring some more eyes and uh, possible investors into the project. See what we got going on over here.
Nice. So that's kind of jumping back a little bit with the whole how we met and how we got to doing the podcast. I don't think we really went over that in any of the episodes so far.
Yeah, I don't think
So
so.
I one day I was just bored scrolling through Mixer, and I was just like, I want to find another Diablo streamer because I want to say it was Diablo because I was just screwing around. I was really into it at that point. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just chill, find another small streamer, just say what's up, see how things are going, see if they got any like tips for me. Then I met Coke Smush Brian, and it was was weird. Like we kind of kicked it off like right off the bat, and I was confused. Like I felt like I had known this man for years, and let alone it had only been like 20 minutes.
I
And
mean, we just meshed, bro.
yeah,
You're
that
my
shit
long
was
lost
great.
brother, man.
And I don't know, we kicked it off pretty quickly, and then we started streaming together probably a few days later, and we bonded quickly, fucking created a brotherhood, and shit, been fucking inseparable. It's great.
Hell yeah, dude. I mean, you've helped me out so much. I mean, even moving into this apartment that we haven't even fully like unpacked the shit in the back. Like the rooms are set. My office station is set, and I was like, we don't have a couch or nothing. People don't go to the living room. It's whatever. So I appreciate you, for everything that you've done, man. And continue to do. Like anytime I'm going through some shit, you're right there. Got my back.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say the same for you. I'm not the kind of person to kind of throw myself out there. Like I was saying earlier, I struggle with disassociation, so I usually just sit by myself and kind of ponder, which I really shouldn't. I need to start learning how to reach out more and talking through things instead of running through all the fucking bad thoughts in my head. But yeah, I mean, we streamed together for a while, and then I wanted to do more, and we started talking about making a gaming community and stuff like that, and it crashed quickly. Like we started it, got a couple people. The one guy dipped out, and then I don't know, a bunch of drama started happening, and we just kind of said, "Fuck it, I gotta focus on
Yeah,
my
once the teams
work
fell
that's
apart, man,
paying the
it was really
bills, and
discouraging.
yeah, I had to focus on paying bills and shit. Like I had
Priorities.
finally started to recover a little bit from my knee surgery, and then I don't know, my life kind of started going downhill at that point. But I feel like I'm working my way back up slowly and kind
From
of
our talks
rebuilding
recently, like
myself.
things sound like they're getting positive for you. Like I know what you came from, and the talks that we have now and what you're doing now, you are progressing. You're going forward, you're moving up. Like what you said to me earlier, like, oh, I think I might have pissed off some people, but I'm going in the right direction. It's like this is exactly what it's about.
Oh yeah, no,
Like
I definitely pissed off a lot of people at work, but
people are gonna see you
at the
moving
same
up and be
time,
mad that it's not them
the way I look at it is they just feel threatened by me because I'm actually moving up. I'm actually doing more with my life.
putting in the time.
I'm I want to learn more, so that way I'm putting in the initiative to show management or whoever I have to that I want to do more. I want to learn whatever I can, wherever I can. And I mean, I not a lot of jobs will see that, and you will be busting your ass for a long ass time. And I mean, I moved up pretty quickly from where I was at. Like first couple months, I was in a lower position, just parking cars and shit. And then after that, I was like, I need to do more. Like, let me do more. I want to do it. And then all of a sudden, a couple months after that, I was leading a whole team, and now I'm trying to prove that I deserve an apprenticeship and move up farther. And it's a lot of hard work. I've gone through a lot of restless nights of worrying like what am I doing wrong, or what can I do better. And it's honestly it's not worth all that worrying. Things will come to you when time is right, whether you have to push it or you have to find a new job. I've the what first few jobs that I had, I saw it going nowhere. I've talked to management. I tried proving myself many times over. And at one point, I was basically doing the manager's job. So he was just sitting in an office for the whole fucking day. And, I got sick of it, told him to shove it and quit my job. He didn't believe me, and then when I quit, I got a phone call a week later asking for me to come back, and well, unfortunately, he didn't want to give me the pay that I requested, and that's not my problem. I ended up finding a new job to move forward and better myself at, and unfortunately, it was a slight pay cut, but at the same time, I was able to learn more from it, and I mean, now I'm at where I am today. I mean, not where I want to be. I want to be doing coding and game development and stuff like that, but instead, I have my backup plan, which was working on cars, and so I'm on plan Q or whatever. Like, there's not always a set couple of plans to get things done and move on, or
See, but we talked about this being able to adapt and overcome, right? You understood the steps that you need to take to get to where you need to go, right? And so you're taking those steps to where you're not going to fall, right? Because everybody wants the job of their dreams. Nobody wants to work at, the bottom end job that they're fucking working, but you have to take what you can to get to where you want to go, right? So you start out here. If you're unhappy, get something better. You have this experience, you have this knowledge. Now take that over here, And so it's all about just continually going up and progressing, and that's what you're doing. When we were first talking, I don't remember you being happy about your job or anything, like, and now you're talking about like you're fucking making moves, and you're talking to this, and you're telling your boss this, and I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, like grab the bull by the horns and fucking beat him in the head, like you're fucking doing it, and I'm proud of you, bro. So keep that shit up.
yeah, I mean, I'm doing what I can. And I mean, it's not always about building yourself up in that one specific area. Yes, that's ideal, but in my experiences, like what I like to tell people is, I'm a jack of all trades, but a master of none. I'm not going to know absolutely everything in one field. I can rebuild computers, I can program them, I can rebuild engines. Like, I know how to network a house, set up server racks. I know how to do architecture in a house, run electrical cables. I know how to do coax splicing for like businesses and shit. But am I a master at it? No, but I'm not by any means, not a master of any of that stuff. But I can tell you how to do it. I can train somebody how to do
But you
it.
have that experience, so it's like if it ever came down to needing to do that, you'd be good to do that too.
Yeah, I mean that's also kind of like the being the whole adapt and overcome situation. It's not everybody is able to learn as quickly as I can, and I have seen that. And being able to find that right team member at whatever job you're at that can help you learn at your own pace, whether it be a little bit slower than somebody else or super quick. Like I always talk to the new members that come in, or well, I call them my employees because I like to take care of them. I like to it's my team, although they're all supposed to talk to somebody above me, but I'm the team lead at the moment. And so whenever we get somebody new, I talk to them about their job experience, what they've done in the past, and I just get to know them a little bit, and they get kind of culture shocked. Is probably the best way I could explain it. Is because they're not used to somebody actually giving a fuck. you know, like I joke around with them. I try and get them comfortable in that new area or in that new workspace, the new environment, because
That's
no
so
matter.
helpful too, man. Having somebody just kind of show you the ropes that isn't a dick micromanaging you and telling you you're messing up here and messing up there.
Oh yeah, that's what I deal with on a daily basis is constant micromanagement. But I don't do that to anybody on my team. If somebody above me has a problem with my team, they will come talk to me, and I have made that very clear and pissed off a lot of people. Like the service advisors, like they try and talk shit to my about my team, and then I rip them a new one. Like it's not that that's especially like when it comes to like my friends and shit. You can talk as much shit about me as you want. I don't care. But the moment you start trying to attack somebody that I like or that I'm friends with or my family, it's hands on sight.
Hell yeah, man. You got to have your family's back like that too. Especially like if you show your team that you care like that, your team's going to take care of you and have your back too, you know. One team, one dream. When everybody's out for themselves, that's when shit starts falling apart.
Yeah, absolutely. But kind of like back, I keep jumping around, kind of with my ADHD. It's wonderful.
You're totally good, bro. This wasn't a structured
uh,
episode at all. I pretty much covered what I had to, so if you guys are still
yeah, I mean,
listening,
I
I
try and
apologize.
I like to keep it around the same
Yeah, no, you're
topic
good, bro.
roughly. And Ryan and I met over streaming. We bonded over games, and then we wanted to build something together. And we kept talking about podcasts over and over again, talking about stream teams, doing all that stuff. And I was like, we both kind of came to the conclusion of streaming is something that we would like to both grow and enjoy doing. But currently, after I've done it for 8 9 years now, and I don't know how long he's done it for, but it's not going into the direction that we want it to. So I was like, you know what? I want to do a podcast. I got a bunch of people that have told me that they'll listen to it, and you know, we'll see where it goes. And so far, I'm pretty fucking proud. you know,
Bro, me too. I check the analytics every day and it's improving every day. You know, like more people are finding out about the podcast, listening to it, and it's not just, I promote to Spotify because obviously more people I feel listen to Spotify, and not everybody has an iPhone to listen to Apple Podcasts. But people are messaging me saying, "Hey, if you want to, put your podcast on our network, I found you through Apple Podcasts." It's like, wow, this is crazy. We're doing this, and people are getting involved and checking it out, and that's really cool. It means we're on the right track.
yeah. I mean, I haven't done much promoting besides just word of mouth and
That's
you
the
know
best,
hopping
honestly,
in
bro.
people hopping in my stream and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
it
but I
it,
feel
it
like in
definitely is.
person, in person word of mouth has its merit for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, it's a work in progress. Nothing's gonna be perfect on the first try, and that goes with everything in life. Whether it's you're learning something or you're starting something new, like this podcast.
Exactly, right? We learn as we go. We learn as we go. This is, well, yeah, I could put this one on the Spotify too, but this is our second episode on YouTube, but the episode between this one and our last episode are like 5 episodes. There's 5 episodes in between, our two visual ones. So it's not like we are super adamant about being the top tier professional about this. We're having fun, right? And that's what I want to make sure we keep doing, is having fun with it. I don't want this to turn into stressful work. Like, oh, I didn't promote enough this day, so we're dropping followers or we're dropping listeners. Like, it's gonna fluctuate, and as long as we take that knowledge and we keep just growing and building from people's feedback, I think we're gonna grow in the right ways.
and also kind of build on like that consistency type of thing. We're releasing it every Sunday morning. We're consistent with that. We haven't missed a Sunday in 8 weeks, right?
Yeah, well, I think this is actually our ninth episode now, so it'd be 9 weeks now. Wait, is this our
I
ninth
mean,
episode? No, I have to go check. I'm
yeah,
always
it's gonna be
fact
a night.
checking
Yeah,
myself because
yeah,
people are
no,
listening to this like, no, he's fucking wrong. Like, okay, this
yeah.
isn't a continuity check, buddy. Like, yeah, so this is our
This will
this
be
is
the
our
ninth
ninth one.
episode,
Yeah. That's pretty good though,
but
like nine
yeah,
episodes already. Like we've been consistent every Sunday they drop, and people want us to start doing ones in between, so we'll probably start dropping episodes on Wednesday too. That's consistency. Like not only are we doing our weekly Sundays, but we're throwing more content at you. Here, boom, down your throat.
I definitely want to do episodes on Wednesdays as well. Good old Hump Day podcast.
Yeah, little
I
check
feel
throughout the
like it might
week.
might be a little difficult for me, but I'll do my best to try and show up for those ones.
It doesn't have to be every Wednesday, but I feel like if we have something extra to talk about, or maybe we could have gone way past the hour on a recorded episode on a certain topic, then we can do the extended one on Wednesday while we kind of go over how our week was, things like that, kind of touch base with the listeners.
For sure. And I mean, like we were saying, we do read the feedback, no matter what platform it's on: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Twitter. Like we
Everything,
do
everything.
read those, and we appreciate anybody and everybody that does that. And whether it's good or bad, it'll help us grow as a community, as a podcast itself. And I look forward to continuing these for for a while. One day I want to get a fucking office space for us and be able to focus on this instead of having to work on cars.
That would be
you know?
sick, dude. Just dedicate full time to the podcast. Like, of course, dude, like, I want to start writing these books for sure. So that's going to be a whole nother thing I'll probably get about later on. But I think this is really good, So, like, I feel like I found my niche because I'm resourceful, right? That's how I am. I've always been the resourceful guy. Like, if I can't get something, I can find somebody to get me that something. If I can't do something, I can find somebody to do that something for me. And so I've always wanted to write a book, and it wasn't like a self-help book, but kind of a book of like realizations and stuff like that, maybe to kind of help people go through. Dude, I had like 18 chapters of this book I was typing up on my laptop. Whole laptop got wiped. I was devastated. Right? This was back in Virginia. I actually had my laptop and I was still working on it. It's like when I started dating Kelly's when I was working on this book. She remembers me working on it. Excuse me. So like it's not like literature is something that's new for me. It's just another thing that I want to do, and I feel like I found my niche. I can use sources to help me come up with topics for my chapters, and I can fill in all the content myself and put together a book and just do ebooks, right? And so the podcast, bro, ebooks, music, NFTs, like all of this shit, right? Everything is just sources of they could be possible sources of revenue, and when you want to start talking about living comfortably, which is another episode we can talk about, is you want to have passive income streams. You don't want to have all these active income streams. Like your 9 to 5 job is active income. Your weekly paycheck, your biweekly paycheck that you get from your job is active income. Music that I'm doing, like Spotify, that's passive income because I put the music out there and now people are listening to it. I'm getting paid based off on those streams without me doing anything. That's passive income. So like these NFTs can be passive income, but it has to be a lot of work that I'm doing to grow it, to get it to where things are just fucking moving and people are selling and people are buying. But until that happens, it's me putting in a bunch of work. So the goal is to like have multiple streams of passive income and then you can live comfortably. Start a clothing brand, get a bunch of people to, wear your clothes, get all these people, promoting it to try to make some commission off selling your clothes. Passive income. It's a lot easier said than done, but there are ways to make it happen. It's a lot easier to invest in somebody that wants to start a clothing company than somebody that's starting an NFT project, that's for sure. So I have fallbacks too. But being a stay-at-home dad, can't really just go out and get a job. I actually used to work up the street, can't work there anymore. Wife works down the street, they won't hire me. So now it's what can I do at home to come up with passive income? I can't really have active income because I gotta just drop my vape because I gotta watch my kid. So it's like I have to do something to where it goes along being able to watch my kid, being able to take care of the apartment, all of this stuff, right? So music, the podcast, making YouTube videos because I'm still gonna be making YouTube videos. Like this is going up on YouTube, not my channel, but I do have my own channel where I put videos up. So that's really cool. You guys can check that out too. I just put out, actually did a Diablo 4 special edition collector's box unboxing that apparently people got months ago and were doing months before me. So I don't feel special about it anymore. But I did go to the launch event in LA and that was really cool because the only people that have that up are influencers. And I don't consider myself an influencer. If you guys look at my Twitter, there's barely like 2,600 followers or 3,000 followers or something. Like I'm nobody big at all. I don't have 100K on
That's
TikTok.
that's probably why I get fucking invited. I got like 80 followers on Twitter.
Yeah, see,
Maybe.
but I've also like, so you talk about streaming, bro. Like before Mixer, I was an affiliate on Twitch for like 7 years before Mixer, right? And
Yeah, but as soon as Twitch released their affiliate program,
yep,
I was there maybe 6 months after. That's
I
when I
I
finally
was I
got a
was
my
literally just
bank
streaming it on
account
my
shit
laptop,
set up.
bro. I didn't have any overlays, nothing. I would just have my webcam, right? So like where my webcam is, you guys see this window? It would be like a little window in the corner and then the game, right? That was it. That was all I had, and I would just stream Diablo 2. But I was knowledgeable because I've been playing Diablo 2 since it came out when I was fucking 9 and I'm 33 now. You know, I never stopped
You
playing,
old
so
fart.
I know, dude. I keep thinking you're like 28 or something, you know, like closer to my age. And I'm like, dude, my wife is older than you and she's a baby. Fucking
I'll be 25 in September.
yeah, she's got like two and a
Bro,
half weeks.
my birthday is on a Sunday. No, it's a Saturday. My birthday's a
So
Saturday.
so you're taking the Friday off and the Monday and you're gonna have a 4-day weekend where you're gonna come out to fucking Laughlin, bro? Is that what I'm hearing, dude?
Maybe. I don't know. I got a lot of shit to figure out with
Yeah,
this.
definitely, definitely. The place is always
Especially
open for you to come though.
appreciate it, man. But hopefully things start working out for the better real soon. you know, I got big plans uh for my job and everything, and I mean how if things don't work out with how I want it to, I'm gonna get as much training as I can from this place and then move on to something better.
That's what it's about, man. I mean, only you know when the right time is for you to make the moves, you know? So it's like if it's not time for you to be at that job anymore and you gotta spread your wings and if I can go somewhere else, only you can be the one to decide that.
Absolutely.
So it's been awesome. It's a good 52 and a half minutes for this one. You have anything else you want to add?
Stay positive. It may be difficult at times, but always try and find someone that you can find trustworthy and reach out to, and keep the chin up.
You can't see, but I'm pointing to you. That's this guy for me, everybody. If I'm fucking down, if I'm pissed off, and I can't go to my wife if she's at work, or if I'm arguing with her or something, this is who I go to. This is my guy right here. Appreciate you, buddy. Listeners, everybody that's watching this, if you are still watching this, thank you so much. I apologize. I'm going to forever say this. Thanks, Alan. Don't forget to like and subscribe, though. It helps out me, it helps out Travis, it helps out this podcast and what we want to do, and it keeps us wanting to do more videos for you. So, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.